You ever wanted to dress like school just let out and a local millionaire just offered $2 million for proof of Bigfoot? Me too. Let's talk Criptidcore. Because I like to introduce a kind of utility into our outfits when it comes to Criptidcore, I'm just going with any kind of graphic tee and pants that are going to allow you to move. I usually go for darker earth tone colors that have a lot of room in them, like these green corduroys, maybe some cargo shorts, some cargo pants, some ripped jeans that have some movement in them, and stuff like that. What sets Criptidcore apart from all the other very grungy aesthetics out there, though, are the details, right? It could be a knife strapped to your belt to defend you in case of whatever you may find in the woods, right? Or it could be a journal where you track your progress in finding whatever creature that you're looking for. And it's in these details that separate Criptidcore from all the other things that look like it. To complete the look, I like to add things like a key ring or a wallet chain, a sturdy bag or a satchel bag. And it's in these details where you separate a very grungy looking outfit from a Criptidcore outfit. Yeah. So you'll see in a lot of my videos that I'll pair a lot of my outfits with a pair of sturdy boots or a pair of dirty Converses, and I'm doing the exact same thing with this Criptidcore look. And so my finished Criptidcore look is going to look something like this. Of course, you can switch out layers or have no other layers, or just keep the graphic tee and pants combo, or introduce shorts to the mix. Either way, play around with it. That's about all I've got for a Criptidcore look. Happy cryptid hunting.
In the moonlight, my honey, I know with the dawn that you will be gone, but tonight you belong to me.
Did you hear about the gorilla who escaped the zoo? No, I did not. That's because I'm a very quiet gorilla.
Not all cryptids are terrifying. Some of them are just weird little guys, like the Fresno Nightcrawler. It's actually a pretty recent cryptid, first appearing on someone's security camera in Fresno back in 2007. It basically looks like a pair of pants with a head, and is only ever seen walking slowly. And sometimes there's a smaller one with it, which a lot of people like to interpret as a parent and child situation. But that's pretty much it. Two weird beings that take strolls in the middle of the night. Theories range from aliens to spirits to misidentified birds, but nothing has really stuck. So the Fresno Nightcrawler stays as one of those harmless, lovable cryptids.
In the big rock candy mountains, all the cops have wooden legs, and the bulldogs all have rubber teeth, and the hens lay soft-boiled eggs.
Come along with me, and the butterflies and bees, we can wander through the forest.
I bite at the hand that feeds me, slap at the face that eats me. Some kind of animal, cannibal. Animal, cannibal. Taking pills and sleeping in a car.
To creep you out, 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 to creep you out.
They vary in description, but can run upwards of 30 miles an hour. They're the size of an elk, and they exhibit varying degrees of decay or otherwise unsavory appearance.
from his face. But I'm sure that I could be a movie star if I
Yes, monster, the abominable snowman, Bigfoot, move over. Mothman is here.
Jump on top of the car.
I'll find food for you.
If Mothman is real, this is the place I feel like he'd be at.
Eternal sleep. I'm gonna give you the slip. I walk down the mall, stand over by the wall where I can see it all. Find out who you follow you to the supermarket, check out the specials and rap you get your
I am gross and perverted. I'm obsessed and deranged. I have existed for years, but very little has changed. I'm the tool of the government and industry too, for I am destined to rule.
Oh my gosh. How to jump in the water. Are you serious? Oh my.
Cryptids from medieval times iceberg. First up we got the sea monk. The sea monk is this creature that is said to have a lower body of a fish, but an upper body that resembles a human that looks like a monk. It's said to play near the shore to attract people with games, where it then will drag someone in when they get close and eat them. What's really crazy is that we have record of it because it's been described in multiple natural history books from the 1500s as being a real animal. There was one that was supposedly caught between Denmark and Sweden around 1540, and most likely it was just a misidentified monkfish or angelfish. The wyvern. So a wyvern is a creature that is very similar to a dragon, but instead of having 4 legs like a dragon plus wings, it has 2 legs and wings. Normally these things don't breathe fire, and they are fairly popular throughout medieval artwork as a symbol of power. What I like a lot about it is oftentimes it is depicted much more serpent-like, and sometimes it uses like poisons, a lot like some sort of viper or snake. And fun fact, in Game of Thrones, these dragons that you see are actually technically wyverns, as they only have 2 legs and wings. Next up, we got snails. So if you look throughout medieval artwork, you will see that there's a lot of depictions of knights fighting snails for some reason. Many of the scenes involve a knight kneeling down and begging for their life in front of a snail that is attacking them. Other pieces of artwork depict a knight fighting bravely against this apparently dangerous foe, and this left historians puzzled for a really long time. They didn't know why they were doing this, and it led to a theory that the reason they have these snails is to show the knights as being like cowards if they're scared of them, or to maybe show how some knights would just kind of exaggerate their stories, like, oh yeah, I fought this really dangerous snail who was actually very dangerous, and maybe they say similar stories about fighting other people. Monopods. So monopods are these kind of dwarf-like creatures that have this single giant foot that is in the middle of their bodies. It's said that they were able to leap with surprising agility, but they often were depicted as like lying down on their backs, using their giant foot as like an umbrella to shade them from the sun. They were first described around 400 BC and were said to originate from India by travelers back in the day. Their existence was later on popularized in books during medieval times, like the Travels of Sir John Mandeville, and people genuinely thought they existed. The vegetable lamb of Tartary. So this is a legendary animal-plant hybrid that was once believed to grow sheep that were alive as its fruit. It was described as this sheep that was attached to this plant by its umbilical cord, where it was then depicted as the lamb walking around grazing on plants near it until it ran out of food, where it then withered up. This myth originated in Central Asia, where it was believed to maybe represent like cotton plants, and it was also first mentioned in Sir John Mandeville's writings. The Bonacon. So this is a bison-like creature that kind of looks like a bull, but it has horns that curl inward towards each other, but these horns are useless for defense, so it has another weapon, which is attacking its enemies by spraying them with fiery diarrhea. This fiery acidic diarrhea was said to travel great distances, as much as 600 feet, where it then burns anything it touches, and usually this legend was just used as jokes in stories about travelers. The Blummies, or headless men. So these were described as these headless humans that had faces set in the middle of their chests. They were described as having great strength, and oddly enough, they were first mentioned by Herodotus around 500 BC as these odd people from distant lands that were later described pretty much the same way in some tales, saying that famous figures had seen them, such as Alexander the Great while he was on his military campaigns, and sometimes they're illustrated on medieval maps, seemingly to represent like the many monstrous creatures that lived at the edges of the known world. Last one, we got the Tarasque. So the Tarasque is this fearsome creature from French folklore that is depicted as this dragon-like creature with 6 short bear-like legs, a lion's head, a spiked back, and a long serpent-like tail. The most famous of these stories of the Tarasque is of this one that lived next to the village of Nerluck. One day, this creature came down to attack this French village and ate many inhabitants, where the survivors then asked Saint Martha for help. She then traveled to the lair of the beast, armed with the cross and holy water, and converted it to Christianity to tame it. This monster then became friendly, where Saint Martha was said to lead it to the edge of the village, where the villagers, still scared of it, ended its life. The villagers then felt bad about this and renamed their town to Tarascon in honor of it. And the town actually still exists today, and they hold a festival every year to celebrate the defeat of Tarasque. Anyways, I love cryptids, and it is so awesome that back in medieval times, even whenever they were dealing with like the Black Plague and stuff, they were like, you know what, these things are real, and that is very based. And you know what, you're based too, because you just watched a long video on this platform. But thank you for watching, and if you want to see more videos just like this, I am doing longer stuff on YouTube right there. If you have something you want me to talk about, just tag me on this platform in the video. And thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.
There's a reason Pacific Northwest horror feels scarier than just regular forest horror, and these movies will show you why. First is dark nature. A woman joins her therapy group for a remote retreat in the woods. And immediately, the forest just feels off. The group keeps sensing that something is out there with them. You love The Descent? This hits that same note. Next is The Rental, and I feel like this movie does not get enough credit. Two couples rent out a gorgeous Oregon coast house. Everything seems perfect until they start realizing the host may be watching them. Such a sinister film, and I've honestly rewatched it multiple times. Next we have Hold the Dark. After traveling to a remote village to track down wolves that have supposedly killed several children, wolf expert finds himself pulled into something way darker. You definitely start to question what is really out there. Finally is New Life. This one takes place in Oregon, and it's also so underrated. It starts as a chase thriller, but the deeper she goes into the woods, more it shifts into something else. If you guys do like this list, then make sure you're following me for more.
You know I'm cold, but I'm hot, got a fever. You been kissing the crush 2 meter. We got yay, come fluffy like a bunny. Blood on my Da Vinci teeth, nose running. I'm with buckshot, summertime driving. Hot outside, so we gotta keep the top off. Up now, but you know I still bust shots. High grade, did I wait in the cops? Swear to God, I never get past moments. Had it in my head, but I probably wanna hold it.
That's right, you are. It's a hard act. Oh, this is the funniest shit I've ever seen.
Bird sings in the bleak rock candy mountains. In the big rock candy mountains, all the cops have wooden legs, and the bulldogs all have rubber teeth, and the hens lay soft-boiled eggs. The farmers' trees are full of fruit, and the barns are full of...
I go out walking after midnight, out in the moonlight, just like we used to do. I'm always walking after midnight, searching for